Hey there, Booktube. Definitely taking some time with the software there today. Streamlabs is kind of buggy, but I don't mind it because it's pretty easy to use. I'm gonna just make sure that the music is all right. Y'all let me know if it's too loud or something like that. I'm playing Ben Harper, Fight for Your Mind. I like Ben Harper. I love Ben Harper actually, but Fight for Your Mind is probably my favorite album. So Danny was here. Danny busted out. Catch it later. Or, yeah, catch the next one, all good. Hey, hey, Paul. Snowcone72, Paul's in the house. So, I got my laptop here in front of me. So when I'm looking over here, that's, where I'm reading the chat. What a week, huh? It was a wild week for me, you know, a lot of work, home life stuff, everything just kind of all happening at once, right? Such is life. So the holidays are coming up quick, and I guess I'm in the same boat as everybody pretty much on BookTube, where, you know. Salutations, Summer. Nice to see you, for sure. Thanks for coming by. I guess I'm in the same boat with everybody on BookTube pretty much, where, you know, the holiday season, we don't buy many books because, you know, buy for other people, right? So I have 3 daughters, and I'm going to, you know, have to focus on that and family and all that. I'm the oldest of 5 boys. I got 4 younger brothers, so there you go. You know, I'm the oldest of 5 boys, and then I have 3 girls. So what a culture shock my own house is for me, relating to how it was when I was growing up. So I'm loving the content, guys, for sure. Yeah, Paul, I saw you were doing a live earlier. I snuck in and I was lurking, but I didn't have an ability to kind of chime in and even say hey or anything. My phone was away from me, but I had my earbuds in, and was just kind of lurking a little bit, hanging out, giving you some view time or whatever. And I'm loving your content, Summer, for sure. It's very cool. You definitely have a wide range of things that you read. That's what I dig the most about readers, is readers that don't kind of fall into a genre and fall into a certain mode of reading, and they can read whatever, just as long as it's good. Because I always say, you know, my favorite things to read are well-written stuff. It's not a certain type of book or a certain genre or anything like that that is my favorite. It's well written stuff. So when there is you know, a writer that can do it, then that is where I love it. Love it. So there's a few things I want to go over. Some of them are some new books. Everybody's kind of down for a haul, right? But I added a new book to my non-fiction November. I've already started it, along with my Italo Calvino Hermit in Paris. And that will come as no surprise to those that got me on Instagram. But for the YouTube community, I haven't shown it yet, so this will be the first time. Godel, Escher, and Bach. An Eternal Golden Braid by Douglas R. Hofstadter. Now, this looks like an amazing work, because it is. I posted a picture of this on my Instagram, and it just blew up. So many people talking. Hey, John. Thanks for coming by, brother. For sure. So, okay, so Scott at Shelfware has been reading this for like the last 3 weeks, and he's been talking to me. I mean, we've just been talking. He's been telling me what it's about and stuff, because I told him, I said, look, I've seen it used, and I always kick myself for not finding it. Is this flipped, or are y'all seeing this normal? You know, because to me on my screen it looks like it's flipped, but it was like that one of my other lives, and they said it was normal. So he was telling me what's in it and stuff like that, and I was just like, yes, I need to get that book. And then I saw I Ain't Fitting to Read That is another booktuber that I follow. He's cool. And we're actually doing the read-along of David Foster Wallace's Oblivion, a collection of short stories. Me, him, and a couple of other guys. And he showed Godel, Escher, and Bach on his bookshelf tour. And I was like, yeah, synchronicity, you know what I mean? And then I'm in the middle of reading J.R. by William Gaddis. You see where I'm at. I only got maybe 125 pages left, and it is insane. It is complete insanity, absurdist, capitalist satire. It is off the rails. Oh, no, I've never read a more crazy, wild book. Ancient Aliens, Chariot of the Gods, that's Zachariah Sitchin, right? So, Leaf by Leaf is another booktuber that I follow that I love his channel. He's right up my alley, and he does really, really good work, reads great books. So, I was watching his video on JR. He just put a video on JR up, maybe this last week or something, and he mentioned Godel, Escher, and Bach in that video because JR is so crazy, and there's this kind of recursion going on in the book where these characters are ending back up where they started, or something keeps happening over and over. There's a lot of like car accidents, for example. You know, we're not there in the scene of the car accidents happening, but they happen, and then, you know, a character will be, you know, in the hospital or something, and it's like it just keeps, you know, these kind of certain things keep happening over and over, and it brings the reader back around to something that had happened already. Happy Friday, Ramsey. Thank you for coming by, brother. Nice to see you. For sure. Yeah, well, JR is everywhere on BookTube because the New York Review of Books just reissued JR. It had been out of print for a really, really long time. And so, New York Review of Books just released a JR earlier this month. That's why we are doing a read-along of it. And it's just like an open read-along. It's so many people are in on the read-along. But it is so fun. It is one of the funnest, craziest books that I've ever read. And I tell you, I'm doing most of it on audiobook because this book is all dialogue. And you know who's talking by their mannerisms, like how they talk. Gaddis has done an amazing job at this, but the audiobook lends itself so well to being read out loud that once I started listening to the audio of it, I can't get enough. I want the audio of it because it's amazing. And these characters, by the time that I'm at the end of the book, is getting so much more and more crazy and out there, and it's just amazing. Nice. I'm reading The Recognitions with Marc Nash, another booktuber. Marc Nash in March is our projected. There's a book reading challenge for March called March of the Mammoths. And March of the Mammoths, and it is, you know, reading a book over 700 pages. So we're going to go for The Recognitions in March, and I tell you, I can't tell you how, I can't speak highly enough at how entertaining JR is. It is so fun. I've laughed out loud so many times. It is the funniest, the wildest, real. I say real in a way like it's, there's no fantasy. It's satire, and it's absurdist satire, sure, but it's set in the real world, and there's it's all human beings and all that kind of stuff. But it is wild, wild, wild. Right? Exactly right, Paul. It must be an adjustment for me. Chris from the basement, nice to see you, brother. Thanks for coming by, man. Nice to see some people hanging out. I figured it was kind of early on a Friday to do a live stream, but this is just the time that I had. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it. And so I've already started Godel, Escher, and Bach. It's going to be my holiday read. It'll probably take me all the way through to the first of the year to get through that book, because it's very dense. Very cool. Working Man Reads. Thanks for coming by, Josh. Nice to see you, brother. So, all right, we got some folks here now. So, I'm definitely down to kind of get into, what, like I haven't already, right? Got into what I want to talk about. So, I first came in contact with JR from a booktuber named Scott Bradfield. And Scott Bradfield is an older guy that had a radio, or he has this kind of radio voice, but he was a teacher. He taught Brad Proctor. Nice to see you, brother. Thanks for coming by, man. Brad Proctor taught literature on a college level, taught for years, and is a writer. And I was in a used bookstore, and I found The History of Luminous Motion by Scott Bradfield. So I just he dropped a video yesterday, so I commented on it and said, hey man, is this you? Is this your book? And and told him, I got it. Pretty cool edition, that's for sure. And he said, yeah, that's me, take care of the book. And I told him that I was reading JR now, because he has like a series of 4 or 5 talks where he's talking about JR and just going through some of the plot points and stuff. And it's awesome. And I had heard that for the most part, before, when he had done the videos on it, it was like a year ago or more. But now I'm really getting it, you know what I mean? Yeah. JR could definitely be a radio drama. It's so cinematic. This book is so cinematic that all it is scenes going from one scene to another scene, and they're linked by the character walking there. So or taking the bus there, or sometimes you go through the phone line, like one person's on the phone with another person and you end up in the second place, things like that. So there's transitions to each scene, and then that's it. You're just in that scene, and then it's all dialogue. The whole book is, it's 90% dialogue. It's ridiculous, and it's just it's so enjoyable. Well, I tell you, I'm hyping it because I love it. I just enjoy it more than pretty much anything that I've read in recent memory. But it is tough. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you had got here then, that I've done most of it on audio, not because of a difficulty level. I've done most of it on audio because the audio is so good for this book. It lends itself so well to audio because the reading is just the way to go. Hearing this, it's, you know, if you're reading it, you're going to be hearing it inside your head. That's how the book is. So to actually hear it is so awesome. Like, you know, it's a ride, man. It is a ride. So I'm gonna check this out at some point. I want to check out Scott Bradfield's book. It seems cool. A novel as mysterious, beautiful, sad, and frightening as contemporary American childhood itself, and unfortunately a good deal funnier. This is Michael Chabon saying that. So I can't wait. Bradfield's California is haunted by vast, primordial, Lovecraftian forces. Death, sex, credit cards, mom, which threaten always to emerge from their ancient hiding places and engulf the world and the narrator. 8-year-old Philip and his preteen Karamazov friends, those who think they know all about California and Oedipal drives, will here discover the true extent of their ignorance. The thing is indescribable, violent, hallucinatory, comic, and incredibly well written. Scott Bradfield has not simply staked out a new literary terrain here. He has mapped and colonized an entirely new planet. So that's Michael Chabon, you know, saying that. So you know, gotta check it out for sure. I've been turned on to so many good writers by starting this booktube channel, and it's awesome. It's so awesome to that you know, they're just out there doing what I'm doing, basically. But you know, they might have a lot more literary background to what they're saying about books, or just to talk about literature in general. So I enjoy their content for that. But they're basically making videos and hanging out at their house and doing life, you know. So it's really, really good. The new edition of JR is like 25 or 30 bucks because it's a big, oversized. It's bigger than this. And my JR, you see, it's almost as big as Godel, Escher, and Bach there. And that's a big book. But this is the trade paperback, the old school first edition trade paperback of JR, and the New York Review of Books edition is a good bit bigger, probably the size of this Godel, Escher, and Bach, and it is a few more pages. It's not a lot more pages, but this is 725, so it's a beast, you know, and it's going to take you a little while to work through it, that's for sure. Yeah, Scott Bradfield is really cool, but you know, he's really wild, he's really wacky, just like all artists and writers, for sure, right? So another book that I found that I thought was really badass, and I couldn't wait to show it and get it, is Heinlein's The Past Through Tomorrow. Now, this is a collection of all of Heinlein's stories that include his future history. Heinlein created a, you know, in his book Methuselah's Children, which is in here, he creates a family of human beings, just regular human beings, that in the late 21st century, they are living super long lives. They're like, you know, multiple hundreds of years old, and humanity gets wind that, like, you know, there's this family, this by their genetics, that they are just predisposed to living an unnaturally long time, and in order to not be, you know, kept as lab rats and studied for their entire life, this family all take off on a starship and leave the earth. So Methuselah's Children, and they are the main that's the main plot of Methuselah's Children, but that kind of set off a whole string of stories, and one of which is probably my favorite Heinlein that I've read so far, is Time Enough for Love. That's not in here, but that is a story of Lazarus Long, one person who is actually the most long-lived person in the history of the universe, which is, when Lazarus Long's story is told, Time Enough for Love, we're thousands and, a couple thousand years in the future from now. Hey, Steve. I wanted to show my boy Steve Fuller that just said hey on the chat. He sent me this. Swann's Way, Marcel Proust. And now this is a Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. You can tell by the awesome way that it is binded. Got the beveled edges and everything. I love the Penguin's Classics Deluxe Editions. And we're going to do Swann's Way at some point in 2021, probably pretty soon in 2021. I'm looking forward to it. Very cool. I've never read any Proust, and I would love to read his whole, Search of Lost Time, but I don't own it. Steve Fuller was kind enough to send me the first edition there, just to do the read along and to have it. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. Very cool. So I was in a used bookstore where I found that Scott Bradfield right there, and it is a very cool bookstore that is just ran by just this woman who, her and her husband own the store. He doesn't work it, she just works it, and she always just sells online 90% of the time. And so going in there, I just get stuff for $3. She'll sell me anything that I grab pretty much for $3. So it's like going to the thrift store, but it's a huge bookstore. It's amazing. What's up? I ain't finna read that. Thanks for coming by, brother. For sure. Nice to see you. We're listening to Ben Harper's Fight for Your Mind today, just so everybody knows what they're hearing. And I'll put this one right over here. And then what kind of jumped out at me at this used book haul, at this used bookstore, was because I had just started Godel, Escher, and Bach the night before I just started reading this book, is Metamagical Themas by Douglas R. Hofstadter. It says, questing for the essence of mind and pattern. And that's what Hofstadter's all about. He's all about how we think and how we gain understanding. Understanding the mind and how associations... That's funny, John. He took 3 pages to describe turning over in bed. Hey, man, sometimes it's tough out here, bro. I mean, I ain't gonna knock it till I read it, that's for sure. But, so I just picked this up because if she didn't want to give me a great deal on it, I wouldn't have grabbed it. But this is a beast, too. This is, over 850 pages, probably a lot of notes, But, another Douglas R. Hofstadter. So, I'm going to read Godel, Escher, and Bach now, and then this will probably be sometime in 2021, a non-fiction read that I get into. Because I fully expect to love Godel, Escher, and Bach. It comes so highly regarded. I can't even, it's amazing the kind of response that I got when I posted that picture on Instagram. People were just loving it. Hey to the Lit House. Thank you. Yeah, it's the oversized trade edition. It's not perfect. You see the crease there. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for reading, right? I'm not a stickler. I'm not gonna. my books, I'm a careful reader, and I'm really careful with my books. So this book will not get any more messed up than it is right now. And if I just love it and I end up, keeping it, a couple years down the road or something like this, I'll find a beautiful edition with no problem, maybe a hardcover, at a used bookstore, and I'll buy it. You know what I mean? So I don't worry about getting books that are in perfect condition for the most part. Unless I'm going for that. You know what I mean? I can't wait to read Godel, Escher, and Bach. And I've already started it. It's really, really cool. Really, really cool. So, there's what has been newly acquired. Not super newly acquired, but newly acquired as far as, not on a TBR, but something that might get read sooner rather than later. And then I wanted to, because in that same bookstore, I was talking about one of the most exciting and unexpected reads of this year for me, which will come as no surprise to anybody that watches my videos, is Perdido Street Station. Okay, so I went ahead and I was looking at sci-fi, of course, because I'm always going to look in the sci-fi section. There's certain things I'm keeping my eye out for. But I saw that they had the oversized trade paperback that I was reading, that is a great edition and a beautiful edition, and then they had the mass market paperback that has the same cover as the edition that I have, and it has been read, but it looks like somebody reads a lot less carefully than I do, and it looks like they read it to about halfway. You see, they read it to about halfway and then they stopped. Okay, so there's your warning, because this book is hardcore. This book is horrifying, but I got this book to give it away. On this live stream. So, I don't know exactly how to do it, other than you have to answer 3 questions, okay? And you have to answer them on my email. So you have to send me an email, and the first question is, do you love horror? Because this is not a horror. This is not genre horror. But it is horrifying to the point that it even busts open horror ideas, okay? It's hardcore. It is not for the faint of heart. And so if you can answer yes, then that's the first question. I want a yes for number 1 in my email of, do you love horror? 2 is 2 is, do you like weird fiction? Because that is the kind of book that this is, more than horror, is that it's weird. It is super weird, and it is insane. It is off the chain as far as how weird it is. My email, you have to find it. It is on. That's the part of it. My email is available. Is readily available to anybody who is on my channel, for sure. So the first is, do you like horror? And the second question is, do you like weird fiction? Right? Mieville. Yeah, you should get acquainted. This is the number 1 to go to. This one and The City are the 2 most highly heralded books by him, and this is an amazing read. And then the third question and final question is, will you make a video and let me know what you thought about it after you read it? If you're not a content creator, then you can leave me a comment on my Perdido Street Station review. This book I just did, like, within the last week. You can see it in the playlist. Hey, Scott and Becky, I'm giving away a copy of Perdido Street Station. Look, I got this little this little mass market paperback for like $1. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna give it away. So I'm giving it away to somebody on this live stream, because y'all are gonna be the first ones. And after I'm done with the live stream, I'll check my email, and when the first one that has answered, number 1, do you like horror? Give it a yes. Number 2, do you like weird fiction? And give it a yes. And number 3, will you let me know afterwards what you thought about it? And that be either in a video or in on an Instagram post, or just, if you're not a content creator in any kind of way, getting on my Perdido Street Station video on my channel and just commenting and letting me know what you thought about it. If you can answer yes to all 3 of those in my email, then that and also you must leave me your address, okay? Maybe I'll reply to the winner, so you don't have to leave your address on that first email. But when I reply to the winner, then I will and then you can give me your address. I'll say, yeah, you're the winner, and then I'll I'll get your address from you and I'll send it to you, because it is wild and fun, I tell you. Nice. Josh already has it. Yeah, buddy. Josh got a copy. That's cool. Hey, man, I mean, it's a little mass market paperback. There's nothing to it. And you might have bought the paperback, mass market paperback for yourself. That's fine, whatever edition. Where they have the deckled edges and the very stronger cover and flaps and all that than a regular paperback version. So this is up for grabs. That's the one that I said is I'm gonna have a giveaway. So it's sitting there waiting. I have not read it, and it looks like somebody got halfway through and then gave up on it and said, this is too much, I'm done. You know what I mean? Which I totally understand. I think that somebody got, halfway through and they were trying to just make it through, because after the first few chapters if this book is for you or not. But it's so interesting and so well written that it's so interesting and so well written that you want to read it anyways, even if it's horrifying to you. So somebody was trying to get through it when it's not their things, that something this hardcore, and by the halfway point, even a little before the halfway point, they were just like, and no, I'm done, and they gave it to the used bookstore. All good. So somebody will get it. I hope that somebody gets it that really enjoys it, because there's so much good stuff to that book. I'm done. Y'all can check out my video if you haven't already, and kind of got up on that. So very cool. Moving forward, I'm doing some some read-along action, and I have a read-along coming up in December with A Cruel Reader's Thesis, Harsch. Over there, we're going to read Charles Dickens' David Copperfield. I'm looking forward to it. I've never read it. The only Charles Dickens that I've read is Great Expectations, and it was great. It's a killer book. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like the deckled edges. I don't mind it at all. I always turn the page from the bottom, or the top. Usually from the bottom. So it doesn't really bother me. And if I go to scan real quick to find a certain place, I need to go to the top or bottom anyways to see the page number. So I mean, it doesn't bother me. Very cool. Yeah. So that's the only thing on the docket for December. I'm keeping it kind of light. I mean, I'm already reading Godel, Escher, and Bach, and I'm keeping David Copperfield as my fiction read. And I showed some stuff on my last live that is other fictions that I'm gonna read in that time, because Rick Harsch, Corona Samizdat Press out of Slovenia, really is putting out great work. I have been up on it and getting more acquainted with the work that he is publishing out of his press. Quite a bit of it is his own, but I have two of his books that are older, like from the mid-90s. They're like noir, really gritty noir. And I got his newest book, which is called The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas. There's a I'm not particularly proud of the review I did because I was so tongue-tied, but the book is insane. Right? The book is completely off, it's just all over the place. But it was super fun and super enjoyable, and I loved the reading of it. It's one of the best uses of language that I've ever come in contact with, is Rick Harsch's The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas. So I have also read George Silas's book, Sea Above, Sun Below. There's a video on my channel reviewing that. That was one of the best books that I've ever read, first time author. It was so cool. It is just a really, really cool book, man. Magical realism is what it is. And kind of reminded me of that movie Midnight Special, if you ever seen Midnight Special. And then there's another that I read out of that press. But I have now on the docket David Vardaman. He wrote a book. I'll grab it real quick. It's right here. It is An Angel of Sodom. This is a collection of short stories, and one novelette. It's like 110 pages maybe. And I'm gonna get up on David Vardaman's work. This is my reading during the day while I'm at work kind of deal. And then Godel, Escher, and Bach is my evening read. And I'm, doing JR as well in between that. But like I said, I only have maybe 120 pages left of JR. And then I'm going to read another Rick Harsch, because Rick Harsch is a master at language. And I love it so much. So I got Arjun and the Good Snake by Rick Harsch. And it looks cool. And another buddy on Instagram said that this is his favorite book by Rick Harsch. So I got that one to read. And you see, Corona Samizdat is doing these little pocket books. See how small they are? I can fit this in my front pocket. Both of these. Guys pants, right? They got big pockets. But yeah, I can fit these books in my pocket and take them with me however they want. Jonathan Carroll, I have not come in contact with Jonathan Carroll. At least I can't think of him by name for sure. Nice. Yeah, very cool. Cool. Good luck, Paul. Hopefully you got it first. You definitely sent the email while we were on the live. So unless anybody else jumped over there and did it, did it first, and you got it. We'll see. I'll see after I'm done with the live. We'll see. I have read some Haruki Murakami. I read After Hours, which I don't recommend as the first Murakami, but I enjoyed it. It was like being thrown into Murakami land without knowing what you're getting into. I didn't really. I read it a couple years ago, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about Murakami. I just saw 1Q84 in the store and thought it looked cool because it's a big fat book, right? And I was like, okay, give me some big epic book, especially with a play on 1984, some kind of dystopian, futuristic sci-fi, But I didn't go for that one first. I wanted to go for something smaller, so I read it, and yeah, Murakami is amazing. And then I read, there's another one that I read. I don't own it. I had gotten it from the library. I can't remember the name. Wild Sheep Chase, maybe? The Wild Sheep Chase. So, yeah, I haven't revisited him at all, and maybe I should, because I did enjoy the books, and I like that kind of style, magical realism, and sure, there's some sci-fi. You can throw anything in there, supernatural, psycho-spiritual elements and all that. I love that stuff. So I was really into that kind of, those aspects and things like that. But I just didn't keep on with his stuff. And I mean, I'll go through phases with writers sometimes where I'll just read a lot by one writer, but sometimes I don't. I'll just take a bite and then be done. Like I have with Michael Chabon, actually. Because Michael Chabon, I read The Mysteries of Pittsburgh, which is kind of like a semi-autobiographical or maybe full-on autobiographical work. And it's good, but it's just all right. And then I read The Yiddish Policeman's Union, which came so highly regarded. The book chemist said that it's one of his favorite. And so I read The Yiddish Policeman's Union, and I was just like, I mean, okay. It was well written, and it was cool, but it was just, for me. So what I need to do is read The Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. Like, why not? Usually I will go for somebody's most well-known, most touted work if I'm getting into them and I don't know what I'm getting into. But, with Chabon, I didn't do that. With Murakami, I didn't do that. Things like that. Well, I'm definitely down. To, receive a book, Scott. You know what I mean? I'm definitely down to receive that from you. Hit me on Voxer, or I'll hit you on Voxer, and I'll give you my address if you really want to send it. Because book buddies, right? Book trading, a little book action. Very cool. Yeah, Rick is a very cool discovery, man. I'm really loving Rick Harsch, and I like the stuff that he's putting out. Did you see, John? I don't know if you how much you watch my my channel to have maybe watched my last little book chat video before I started doing lives, and then my last live where I showed. Okay, let me just get it. That's right. As the Wolf Howls at My Door by Chandler Brossard. So I got a crazy deal on this first edition, and it looks awesome. So Harsch's press, Corona Samizdat Press, is reprinting this, because this is out of print, is reprinting this later in the year, or maybe beginning of 2021. And I mean, it looks like a riot. Like just a riot. I can't wait to check that out. Can't wait to check it out. So that was a cool find, and especially to find it for a price that isn't stupid, because I was seeing it on eBay for like $40, $50, and I'm like, dude, I'm not paying $40 or $50 for something I can buy from Corona Samizdat for $10 in a month or two. You know what I mean? So yeah, I will read As the Wolf Howls at My Door, and how I've set it up, and I think, you know, I didn't get a whole lot of feedback on it, but it's just because I can do whatever I want to do with my channel, right? For sure. I'll send. How about we do a little barter, Scott? How about I send you something and you send me something? My choice, though. You're sending me your choice of a book to send me, so I'll make a choice and I'll send you a book. Just a surprise book action. You didn't oh man. See, and see, that's why, to the Lit House, that's why I haven't oh god, $150 on Amazon. Eugh. I know, right? I mean, it's ridiculous, the markup on these out of print books. Yeah. How As the Wolf Howls at My Door is set from Corona Samizdat Press, Rick Harsch's press, and I'll link it. I'll put it in the description box. But that's how it is. Corona Samizdat. He's reprinting it. You can get it in February, and it's will be like a $10 book, maybe 15, because I think he's going for the trade paperback, bigger, larger format trade paperback edition on that. He's not doing a pocketbook for, you know, that beast. So yeah, that's why I didn't go for The Amazing Ventures of Cavalier and Clay, because I mean, you know, Yiddish Policeman's Union was cool, and the writing was well. I was just along for the ride, and I wrote it through, you know. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, you know, well, that ride's over, and I was done. And it just wasn't. It wasn't a big deal. I don't know people who just like love Michael Chabon so much. I'm just like, why? Like, what is it? What is it that he's doing that is extra special? Like, really, what is there? Yeah, the As the Wolf Howls at My Door is amazing. I mean, I haven't read it, but I'm telling you, I mean, just the kind of way it's laid out, and it's Chandler Brossard's last and final book that, I mean, you know, and he was all about subversion. I talk to Rick Harsch. I play Rick Harsch chess a lot, all the time. I mean, we just keep games going. So, me and Rick talk quite a bit, and I can just kind of hit him and ask him whatever I want. So I showed him that I got that book because he got a copyright strike. Or no, he got an indecency strike for posting that on Instagram, right? Because of the nudity, right? There's naked chick, you know, there's naked pictures, paintings, and sculpture all over Instagram. You know what I mean? There's art of naked human body all over Instagram. But he shows that, and somebody, you know, objected that saw it or something and gave him and reported it, and he got striked. So I showed him that I got the book, and I told him that I posted a video of it. It's been seen, and I'm just waiting on my strike, you know. And he goes, well, that just means if you got that book, that means you're not gonna buy it from my press, right? And I said, hell no. I said, dude, I'll buy it. I don't care. I'll buy it and read that one, because this one right here, you know, give it a year or something, man, I might sell this thing for $300. The way that this is going, I mean, if I could sell it, I mean, dude, I bought it for 20 bucks. Okay? I bought it for $20. And it was the only reason I bought it for 20 bucks is because I'm seeing it for 50 and 60. It's ridiculous. Nice, Paul. Yeah, nice, Paul. So, I'm definitely down to play. What site do you play on, Paul? I play chess all the time. You know, I mean, I play on my phone on an app, but I play on a couple, and you know, just here and there. We can start a 3-day game and just make moves as we feel like. That's how I usually play, and we can keep it unrated so that there's no real competition, no real worries, because I'm not, you know, it's for fun, that's for sure. But I'm a good chess player. It takes a long time to get good at chess. I've been playing for years and years and years, and I thought I got good, you know, in like my college days. There was a group of guys that played in the little commons area where we would hang out, and I got a lot better, and so I thought I was pretty good. And then after college, I wanted to keep playing but didn't have a lot of people to play with, right? So I started playing online, and then I saw how mediocre I was, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh my god, you know, and whatever. But maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I had kind of a perspective change, just a perspective shift on how I see the board and stuff. And ever since 2 years ago, now I feel like I play actually pretty well, comparing to, you know, anybody that's plays and people that have played for a long time or you know, most of their life, that I can hold my own and that I can play well against them. I can never play against a grandmaster or somebody who plays professionally. I would lose every time, for sure. Well, what my favorite is to play on chess.com. So chess.com has an app, and they actually you know, you can play live there. You can play a game right then, just with somebody else on the app. There's millions of people that play on that app, and I've played on it for, you know, maybe 7 years, 8 years, more than that. Nice, man. I can't wait to get into the recognitions. But yeah, jump on chess.com. Yeah, Summer, get back to the Magic Mountain for sure. Nice to see you. I'm about wrapping up here. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by, Summer, for sure. Do I have Instagram? Of course. Yeah, I don't really say, I don't have YouTube to point people to my Instagram. You know what I mean? I have Instagram to point people to the YouTube, because this is what I'm more active in, and I really like sharing. I like doing the YouTube. I like doing videos, and doing the live is really, really fun as well. But I started Instagram just to have a place to point people to my... What's up, Jay? Nice to see you, Jay Maddox. So I'll put in, I'm putting in the chat, in the chat right there. That's my Instagram. It's everyone_who_reads. And that's it. That's my Instagram there. And yeah, check it out. If you follow me on Instagram, you get like heads up to hauls and stuff and things that I'm gonna talk about, and heads up to the lives. I try to do one picture a day on Instagram. And if I'm doing something on my YouTube, then it is pertaining to what I'm doing on YouTube. But if I am not doing something on YouTube, then I just take pictures of random books, sometimes interesting books, certain things that I think are cool. I do try to take some cool pictures, but I'm no photographer, that's for sure. Getting ready for nice. That's right, Jay. Well, see, therein we know the difference between Jay Maddox and Scion Doss right there, because I hit Scion before I started this and just said, yo man, you know, if you're looking to hang out a little bit, I'm gonna do a live tonight, because he told me that he's down to know, so to hit him and let him know. And I said, so I'm doing a live tonight. And he said, okay, but I got to get ready for this show tonight, so I can't. I'm not gonna make it by, man. I got some stuff going on Friday nights. You know what I mean? We're doing the show, and you know, Jay Maddox, the other the other part of the Coffin Couch show, is hanging out. So I like your style, Jay. Thanks for coming by, brother. Very cool. Yeah. So. Yeah, I like the Coffin Couch show. Well, I like movies too. You know, I'm just like a big fan of stories. Stories of all kinds. We all love stories. And I think anybody who loves books loves good movies and loves good storytelling as a whole. And cinema is part of that. And that's just what it comes down to. So, I saw that during the live here, you know, Steve Donahue dropped like 4 videos. I'm seeing the notifications of Steve dropping video after video after video. As I'm that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about maybe a couple of lives ago. It happens. Yeah, and yeah, man. Thank you, Jay. Always cool. I got my Beatles on my Instagram. I just did a video and showed, you know, some of the books I'm gonna show and talk about on my live. And I played "Happiness Is a Warm Gun." It's one of my favorite Beatles tracks. So very cool. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah. Well, you know. We're all part of the community, man. And dude, Steve, even if he doesn't comment, I have no doubt that he watches what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Steve watches what we all do. Okay? You know what I mean? And he's if he's not commenting, then he's silently judging us. You know what I mean? He's silently making his judgment, and you know, I think for the most part, I'm glad he might be keeping his judgment on me in his pocket. But you know, he's a funny guy, man. I really enjoy Steve. He's a fun guy and a funny guy. So there we are, guys. There's the layout for today. I thank you for coming by. And spent killing an hour of your Friday with me. It's been a wild week. It's been a pretty crazy week. So it was really fun doing this one, and you know, ending up my week, going into my weekend off of you know, by kind of just talking some books with my buddies for a while. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, John. Thank you, Jay Maddox. I ain't fitting to read that. Paul, of course, Snowcone72 for chilling out. Summer, cozy reading with Quaker cats. Everybody. To the Lit House, of course. Good night. Thank you very much.